Welcome back, YouTubers, to another WWE vlog in HD with me, Daniel Parker, and this guy sitting next to me, it's NJ.
What's up?
Very positive what's up there, NJ. But really, can we be positive about this pay-per-view at all, really?
No.
No? Well, make sure you guys, of course, do something positive and subscribe up above. Like this video and comment your thoughts on the show down below. We want to hear your thoughts.
Be sure to contact us in the links in the description box below.
Alright then, so should we just get straight down to this review, NJ?
Yeah, let's.
Right, we started off today with Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler for the US title, a match which we've seen twice on Raw, tens of thousands of times in the last 2 or 3 years. This match...
There was nothing great about it. It had the right person won, in my opinion, but at the same time, I'm just thinking that I'm glad the match is over, because this is the worst match I was not looking forward to.
Well, this match, although they seemed to try, it never really seemed to click. I mean, I think the problem is we've seen this so many times before that we just really have lost caring about it too much. Like you said, the right guy won in Ziggler. He needed the belt. He won with a sleeper hold. Was it botched? We don't really know. It seemed like a botch, but whatever. I don't know. As an opener, it was okay, but I think the problem for me came with this next match. I don't understand why Alex Riley versus The Miz was second on the card. One of the most well-built feuds going into this card is second in the card. It should have been way higher up the card, in my opinion.
The problem with this match is that, thinking back a bit, I can't remember any big special moments in this match, so there's nothing special about this match either.
Well, The Miz dominated the early goings, and Miz wins his first pay-per-view match with an Impaler DDT. Kind of copying Edge on that one, really, isn't it?
A little bit.
Yep. I don't really know how to feel about this. I'm glad Alex Riley's won, but at the same time, what's this going to do for the rivalry? You know,
it's stupid. We have Miz, who's an ex-WWE champion, and he's just lost to his ex-partner on their first match. So
this is why in the predictions I said I wanted this to end in a DQ, because at least it would make none of them look weak, and the rivalry could still continue at the same time. Although Riley pinned Miz clean. So, you know, what does it say about Miz? What does it say about the rivalry, really? I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about that match. Oh, God, the next match of the night is probably the worst match of the card for me. Big Show versus Alberto Del Rio. Can I just say one thing here, WWE? If you were going to make Big Show face Alberto Del Rio, at least use it to make Alberto Del Rio look decent. This match did none of that, did it?
Basically, Mark Henry attacks Big Show before the match even probably begins, and Big Show can't compete for the rest of the match.
So, you've got this guy, Alberto Del Rio. You pretty much don't make him do anything in the match. You make Mark Henry inflict all the damage, and Big Show can't continue, and the match isn't finished. How does that make us as a fan feel about the match when the match can't even finish? Do you know what I mean? It wasn't even that long. Del Rio focused on the leg. There was no finish. He just couldn't continue. It just leaves you with a really bad taste in your mouth at the end of the match. You just think to yourself, this is what we got as an ending? Really? Pay-per-view? What we have to pay for?
After the last 2 matches, this one, again, is done nothing for the pay-per-view. It did nothing.
I was quite looking forward to this match in a sense because of the storyline involved, but the match didn't deliver. It didn't do what it was supposed to do, and that was to make Del Rio look good. It just made Big Show look weak, and then it made Del Rio. He didn't do anything. You know.
Talking about weak, the next match made both wrestlers, I say, look good.
Which one? The Wade Barrett versus Zeke match?
Yeah, they
Speaking
both
of weak,
looked okay.
Zeke and weak rhymes.
They do. It's just they look okay against each other, but again, there was nothing too special about this match either.
The Intercontinental Championship match. What I liked about this match was before the match even started, we had Wade Barrett cutting a promo backstage, and he kind of works his way to the ring. This is what I kind of like, and he kind of got himself some heel heat, ripping on Washington DC, which is, I think, what WWE are trying to do to get Zeke over as a babyface a bit more, because at the moment he's not really over as a babyface as much as WWE wanted him, I think.
And what I'm going to say is, just like Rennie was with Nexus, I think Wade Barrett is great on mics. I'm saying for this few minutes before the match, it definitely did good for me.
Definitely. And the match itself, you know, look at their match at Over the Limit. It wasn't the best match, and even though this match was won clean, I don't think these two could really put on a good match together. I really don't. I think something to do with the contrast of styles or Ezekiel Jackson's, you know, power game. I don't really know. It just didn't seem to. I mean, I know Zeke won, but it didn't seem to really do anything for him. Like the match itself, he won with a torture rack, and Wade Barrett is now hopefully going onto that main event scene, because that's what SmackDown needs at the fucking moment. He's proved in that promo that he's got so much charisma to go into the main event.
Even though Zeke won, I'm saying it was good how they did it. We all thought Wade was going to maybe get a chance of winning when he hit his waistland,
yeah,
and then Zeke got his finisher in, so yeah, it was kind of a good ending.
And then they have this sort of like post-match USA talk with Ezekiel Jackson, again probably to get him more babyface heat. You know, it seems a little bit cheesy to me, but if that's the way they want to do it, then let him do it. He's the new Intercontinental Champion, so both mid-card titles changed. Really, this should make us excited, but it really didn't, did it?
No.
Because the WWE didn't seem to really make us want to care about these matches too much because of the storyline told, especially the SmackDown one, I think, and the Raw one.
Luckily, this next match was another good match. We had CM Punk versus Rey Mysterio.
I thought this was probably the best match of the first 5, because at least these two can put on a great match. But the only trouble is, we've seen it before. Even though it was a great match, I can't care about it, and I can't emotionally invest myself into this feud because I've seen it so many times before. It was a great match. They put on a good match for a good 10 to 12 minutes. Punk controlled the pace. It's just that I can't care about it when I've seen it so many times before.
Even though we've seen it before, the good thing about this is Punk won, and I'm hoping now, as they gave Punk the win for this match, there's a chance that maybe, hopefully, because this 3-hour Raw is going to spark new rivalries, hopefully it'll start a new one for CM Punk.
Yeah, and you could also tell that the crowd wanted Punk to win, the way they were cheering him, couldn't you? You could tell the crowd were really behind CM Punk, and I'm glad that WWE actually made him win this match, because it was a good match, and they made the right person won.
And I think when CM Punk won, the crowd were accepting it, they liked it.
They reacted well to it.
So I'm hoping now, with this, they could stop with Bray, because I think that's finished now, and just move Punk on. While
we're talking about crowd reaction here, this crowd was dead throughout the night. But really, who could blame them? They didn't really give them anything to react to, did they? The crowd. Who can blame them for being so dead? We were dead, sitting here, almost. And then we had a Randy Orton Christian match with Randy Orton, a guy who all kind of makes us die in some way or another, or go to sleep, either way. Another Randy Orton versus Christian World Heavyweight Championship match. NJ, your initial thoughts on this match and result as a whole?
Nothing too special about this. It was... Orton looked like he was doing things differently than what he normally does.
He did have some new moves up in his locker, didn't he?
Yeah, but the thing is, it just... I don't know. It's like they were trying to outdo their last match against each other, trying to make this much better. And you've had CM Orton versus Chris before. They've done it now. So I'm just saying, finish it and move on.
Yep. Like NJ said, it's just so hard to beat their match over the limit. And now you've got Christian heel. You know, how am I supposed to believe that Christian is going to beat Randy Orton? Really, the way Randy Orton's booked, how am I, even with this heel turn, how am I supposed to believe that someone like Christian can beat Randy Orton? I'm just saying. Orton wins with an RKO out of nowhere. Well, we were fucking surprised by that now, were we?
And sadly, as Christian's foot was under the rope, there's probably going to be a rematch, and I just think, please no.
This will probably mean the feud will continue, unfortunately. Christian's foot was under the rope, which means it really shouldn't have been a 3 count, but it was. So Orton hits Christian with the belt post-match, which suggests to me the rivalry will continue. I'm not sure if I really want to see this again. I think they've sort of lived out as much of the feud as they can, to be honest, even though they've just turned Christian heel.
So let's just hope they move on.
Yeah. I thought it was a decent match, but I just couldn't really buy into it just because I've seen it now.
And talk about seeing it, the next match, Jack Swagger versus Evan Bourne.
This was their idea of a filler match. Again, put a meaningless match, which we've seen on Raw 2 or 3 times. The problem is, I didn't think this match was that bad. It's just that I couldn't, again, emotionally invest myself into it because I'd already seen this match so many times and no one cared. And you could tell the crowd was dead throughout this whole match. No one cared that the babyface won. And that really shows you so much, doesn't it?
I think after the previous matches, my feeling was just lost. So I just thought this match was just nothing.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the whole pay-per-view as a whole, leading up to this, and you got this match, and you're just thinking, oh, for fuck's sake, just get to the main event, really, because if there's anything that's going to save this card, it might just be the main event. There might be a glimmer of hope in the main event.
And even though Evan Bourne won, talk about saving the pay-per-view, they thought the next bit, Barack Obama would save the pay-per-view. He just made it worse.
You just says something to the pay-per-view when they get a fake Barack Obama to come out and try and liven up the crowd, and it doesn't do it. You can't get a president of the United States to liven up your crowd, and to be honest, he got booed. And so he also got booed when he announced John Cena. Good luck to John Cena. Boo! Why am I not surprised?
And what even got worse is that we've had loads of different people doing the spinneroonie. We had Barack Obama doing one.
Why? Why do you do this? Seriously, not only do we not want Booker T in the middle of the ring, I don't mind it for a bit of entertainment, but this was just fucking ridiculous. And it was a really bad example of time filling, just like it was earlier when they have Keith Stone come out with the Bellas. You know, it was just nonchalant filler, and it was just like, is this the best you can do for entertainment? Really?
But with Capital Punishment now coming to an end, hopefully they won't relive all this stupid Barack Obama stuff.
And you're already getting the idea that this is kind of a throwaway pay-per-view and how we're going to be grading this show.
It's all about grading. The main event didn't even save the pay-per-view. No. We had John Cena versus R-Truth for the WWE Championship.
You know, once again, I didn't think this was a bad match. It was very slow. We both noticed that it was a very slow match, but I think this is kind of how the match was going to go if Truth was going to control the match as the heel. It's just the ending that I had a problem with. The fan throws water into R-Truth's face, and he goes into the ring, John Cena hits the AA, and you're just thinking to yourself, well, you know, John Cena wins again, you know, I mean, if this match should be, let's say, for example, this match went by disqualification, I wouldn't have minded too much. You know, at least get R-Truth doing the business on him after the match. It's just the fact you had John Cena win, so obviously, and it's just
R-Truth, basically, he looked good in this match, I'll give him that, because for him going from the mid-card up to the main event was definitely a good, big move for him.
And he's kind of dominant in this match as well at times, isn't he?
Yeah. And the thing is, now I have my little rant about John Cena.
Go on.
Okay. Again, it was predictable that John Cena was going to win, but at the same time, there was the small chance that R-Truth might have a chance of getting the title from Cena just for about a month or something, just so he's got it and just so we could see how it goes. But sadly, they fucking made John Cena win, which really pissed me off. And after going through the rest of the pay-per-view that we've just had, putting this at the end just made the whole pay-per-view even worse.
And can I just say one thing? The problem is, we know, as a smart marks, we know this is a holdover feud for someone like a Del Rio, John Cena, so we know R-Truth isn't going to win. But at least try and make it seem like he can believably win. I mean, they had him hit his finisher, but even when he hit his finisher, we were going, it's going to be a 2 count. Because we know Cena's going to win. It just makes it so predictable. And this is the problem when you have Orton and Cena as your main events. They just get boring. And this was a perfect example of it. Every time I saw Orton or Cena doing something, I was like, well, I don't really give a fuck. I really don't.
This match, as much as it was the main event, it's meant to be the draw of it. I just really went entertaining this match. There's not a single part of this match I can think, oh, wow, that was great, that was spectacular, that was a good move from R-Truth, that was a good move from Cena.
I liked R-Truth's heel tactics, but that was about it. That's the only really thing I liked about this match. But
I'm just saying that we've seen R-Truth do good against Cena. Maybe you could relive that because he did good against Cena, so I'd say give it another shot. Yeah,
well, I mean, the thing is, the main theme of this card really was that the matches were okay. Some of the matches were okay, it's just that we didn't care. WWE didn't really hype this pay-per-view enough to make us really care about some of these matches. This was one I did care about. But by the way, the time I got to the main event, I was thinking to myself, oh, fucking, I don't give a shit. Because of how crap the lead-up was. You know what I mean?
And I'm going to say, thanks to the rest of the pay-per-view, I switched off. I just weren't paying any attention to this main event. I saw what happened, but I just weren't paying much attention. So I'm going to say, overall, the whole pay-per-view, which we're going to talk about now, weren't the best pay-per-view.
No.
Going into it, we thought it was going to be okay, but the result came out worse than what we thought.
Again, like I said at the beginning, this is a typical example of a throwaway pay-per-view that WWE just make, you know, anytime. They called it Capital Punishment. They tried to play on the fact that it was in Washington, D.C. Even this didn't really take the show. Like I said, the crowd were dead. who could blame them, really? When the crowd is dead and when the crowd isn't cheering when the babyface wins, you know there's a huge problem there. Overall, this pay-per-view, I don't really know. I mean, I don't really know because I just couldn't. The problem is, some of the matches were okay. I liked the Punk Reign match. The only trouble is, I couldn't care about it that much because they just didn't really hype the pay-per-view that much, and the matches we'd seen before.
And what I'm going to say is that none of these matches are going to lead to anything special onto Raw.
No.
These matches just came, gone, finished.
Yeah.
Now start fresh on Raw, please.
Yeah, definitely. And the filler stuff didn't really help either, did it?
No, so what we're going to do now, we spoke about our feelings of this pay-per-view. What do you guys think? Leave your feelings and words in the description box, in the comment section box below. And we'll see you guys on Raw.
Yep. Goodbye.
Goodbye.